Okay, so hello, everybody. Welcome. I hope you're having an amazing morning so far. If you're new to the group, I'm Melissa Biscardi, a concussion clinician in downtown Toronto. But today is super exciting because I'm joined by my colleague and friend, Sarah Harris, and we're going to be chatting about the nervous system. So this is going to be relevant to us as clinicians running our tushes off, being, stressed, and also to our clients and patients. So I think you're going to get a lot out of this chat. And Sarah and I, we work together, and we have worked in multiple places together, but really where we are now is a very special place. And the name of the facility is Wellness by Design. And so Sarah, I'm going to do a little blurb and she can expand after if she wants to. She is a very special type of clinician. She draws from personal training and holistic nutrition, and she doesn't focus on concussion, but she does focus on complex populations. So she has a lot of knowledge that she can draw from and share with us. And I think that's my little part about you. Do you want to add to that at all?
No, that was great, actually. Hi, everyone. Like Melissa said, I'm Sarah Harris, and I'm a personal trainer and lifestyle coach here at my studio, Wellness by Design. And I just want to say thank you to Melissa for inviting me to talk about this, because it's something I'm really passionate about. Because for me, I lived in sympathetic tone a lot of my life, and I tend to go back there from time to time, yet I have a solution for you guys. So I just thought I'd talk a little bit about the nervous system and how we can understand, as clinicians, you probably know about the nervous system a lot, but we're just going to talk about some signs and symptoms of sympathetic tone and basically what you can do about it. So if I could just go back to maybe what you already know, but we'll just reiterate it just for a little bit more sort of education.
Refreshers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the nervous system has two branches, the parasympathetic, which is our rest and digest, and our sympathetic, which is more the fight or flight. Now, there is some sort of theories coming out now talking about the polyvagal vagus nerve, the polyvagal theory, which says that, part of the parasympathetic nervous branch has two branches, one that is our tendon befriend and our rest and digest, and then the other section of where we just go into overwhelm and we go catatonic. I don't know if you've ever seen those falling down goat videos, but that's kind of where we can go. Yet most of us don't get there, hopefully. Most of us are stuck in sympathetic, and I see it a lot in my practice, and I see a lot of people sympathetic overloaded, and they don't even know it. So that's like a huge thing, is the education part of it for me. So why are so many people sympathetic? Well, we have our personal stressors, like how we're managing our life and how we're creating in our life. And we also have like collective stress, like look what's going on in the world. And this is one reason why I stopped listening to the news, because I find it just so overwhelming, all the stuff that's happening, from global warming to the war in the Ukraine. All this stuff is like, how could that not take a toll on our sense of self and our sense of our community? So we also have nutritional deficiencies too. So not only just eating sugar and alcohol and all that stuff, which can be fun, we also can actually deplete things like magnesium. So Dr. Hyman at the Cleveland Clinic, one of my favorite guys, you could check him out. He's all over social media and YouTube. He talks about how 70 to 90, I think those are the ranges, that people are deficient in magnesium, because what do we excrete when we're stressed? Magnesium. Not only that, our soils are hugely depleted in magnesium just because of our farming practices. So one of those supplements I generally take just to bring my nervous system down is magnesium. Dehydration.
I didn't realize we excreted. I knew that most of us are magnesium deficient, but I didn't realize that that is actually one thing we excrete when we're stressed. So that's really helpful. Thank you.
And it's got over 300 enzymatic functions in the body. So hugely, not just for our nervous system, but all sorts of other things in our body. So dehydration, another stressor that people don't think about. Most people I see don't drink enough water. One of the things I notice when I don't drink enough water is I start to feel tired. So my general rule with that is half your body weight in ounces a day. Injuries can do that because of the inflammation, can create a sort of a cortisol response. We've got lack of sleep and rest. I don't know about you, but most of the people I see don't get adequate rest, even though they feel that they do. So that's a huge one. We also have conscious and unconscious trauma. So most trauma that we experience going through life, because life can be challenging sometimes, is unconscious. So we might feel this sort of low undergrade sort of anxiety sometimes, and that could be coming from some patterns that we've developed through our conscious trauma or unconscious trauma. Also, one of the big things that I'm super passionate about is lack of contentment, right? Like, are we content in our jobs? Are we content in our work-life relationships? You know, are we even content or connected to ourselves? So today I'm going to give you a little bit of practice that helps you kind of get more connected to yourself through breathing. So some of the signs, common signs of sympathetic overload are chronic anxiety, depression, and just that basic sense of unease that I mentioned. Inflammation and injuries from free radical damage from the stress response in the body. Dilated pupils. When I was stressed out, my pupils were like huge. That was a huge sign to me that something was up. Also, I experience a lot of GI issues. So I either get constipated or I don't digest my food very well. So again, this breathing practice I'm going to show you today can help with that as well, because our breathing is directly influenced into our organs of the body, especially our digestive organs. You feel tired and wired. It was like the worst feeling ever when I was stressed. It's terrible, right? You can't fall asleep even though you're exhausted. So that's some of the symptoms we can experience. So let's just talk about now what could be done. So today, what I'm going to offer you is 2 minutes of breathing. Now, why 2 minutes? So 2 minutes, according to James Clear, he wrote a really good book, if you're interested, called Atomic Habits. It's one of my favorite books. And in it, he has a 2-minute rule. And what he says about creating a habit is we need to first establish the habit. So 2 minutes is very easy, right? Anybody could do 2 minutes of anything every day. And he says we want to do something really simple, 2 minutes over a 30-day period. So you do it consistently, and that's really the trick. And then it starts to grow into something more. So now I meditate for 15 minutes every morning. That started from 2 minutes. The next thing it does is it actually, when you sit down to do a practice like this, you're actually telling yourself, this is the person I want to become. So it's an identity thing that we're creating here. So I want to be a person that's less sympathetic and that thrives in my life. That's always my intention. So this is a practice that I keep doing, and then I keep feeling more like that person. So that's what we're going to do. There's a few other techniques that I'll mention after we do the 2-minute practice. If I forget, tell me to tell you about that. But let's go into it. So what you can do is, I naturally like to breathe lying on my back because there's no other muscles competing and it's a very relaxed state. So if you want to join me right now, you could either lie on your back, just make sure your head's supported, because here's an important key for the vagus nerve. It does come out from our brain. So if we're compressing it with a neck extension, that's not very helpful. So we want to make sure that our neck is in the nice position with the chin down and nice long neck at the back. So you can either do that, or like Melissa and myself, we can just do it from sitting. So what I'm going to get you guys to do, we're going to do a 4-count inhale and a 4-count exhale. And here's the trick. I'm going to give you a little bit more with this. When you breathe, we're not only lowering sympathetic tone, what we're doing is we're actually activating the deep core musculature of the body. The diaphragm and the pelvic floor are two of the muscles that work in the body to basically stabilize our body and also suspend our bodies. So super important, these two muscles. So we're gonna get those active. So I'm just gonna show you my body for a second. As we're sitting, you're gonna wanna breathe through your ribs, into your waist, and into the pelvic floor. So most people either breathe from their belly or they breathe up here. So just to keep that in mind, that's why it's a lot easier when we're first doing this to do it from the floor. Okay, so get into a comfortable position. In good posture is usually one where you kind of pull those seat bones out. So we're sitting on those seat bones, feet are flat on the floor. Okay, and what I want you to do first is you're just going to take a big deep breath in. You're going to exhale that air all the way out, and you're just going to shut your eyes. Now I'm going to set the timer for 2 minutes. And if this breath work doesn't work for you with a 4-count inhale, 4-count exhale, if it's stressing you out, just change the breathing pattern. And we're going to do it for 2 minutes. So here we go. We're going to take a deep breath in. I'm going to exhale the air all the way out and just soften your mind. You're going to breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And I want you to just continue that breath. And I want you to think about just the breathing. So if your mind starts to wander, which it will, just gently pull yourself back to this breath. Noticing it come in through the nose. Noticing it go out through the nose if you can. That's activating the parasympathetic nervous system branch. And then just noticing how that breath goes down through the ribs, waist, and pelvis. Filling the body up with breath and maintaining a nice straight spine. And just noticing the breath, how it comes in, how it goes out. Softening the body. And when the mind wanders, keep coming back. And there we have 2 minutes. So if you're new to meditation, this is a really great way to start meditating. So Melissa, how did that feel for you?
That was great. And the 2 minutes flew by. Oh my gosh, I could have kept going.
Yeah.
I feel more relaxed too.
Yeah.
Nice.
And amazing, right? In 2 minutes. Yeah. So just to give you a few more things, if you guys are interested, what I suggest to my clients, do that for 30 days. That's a really great way to start to cultivate that. And then they get a sense of like what it feels to be calm too. Stretching has been scientifically shown to reduce sympathetic tone. So has gratitude journaling. This is something I do every morning. I do 3 things I'm grateful for. Just shifts your whole sense of well-being because I don't feel like you can be anxious and grateful at the same time. So I'll choose grateful. And also inverted position. So just getting your legs up the wall and doing that type of breathing can really help. So that's all I have. And if you guys are interested, I'm really excited because I'm having, right now I'm just finishing up a program called the Morning Mastery, which is to reduce sympathetic tone basically. And it's basically to get or help us become more resilient. And I'm doing that for hospital staff right now because there's so many hospital people that are completely burnt out. They did a study in 2019 that indicated that like a huge percentage of hospital staff were burnt out, and that was even pre-pandemic. So I'm giving this program to them, and then I'm going to cultivate it for other communities. So stay tuned. If you're interested, you can go to my website, wellnessdesign.ca. And then there's a link to my newsletter. It'll just pop up and you can just sign up, and then I'll send you guys out information about when that program comes. I also have a fantastic YouTube channel.
Your blog is like incredible. So I hope people sign up for your newsletter.
Yeah, please do, because I love sharing this type of information. So once a month, I do a very short blog about different things from exercise, nutrition. And you just have to just find me at Sarah Harris Wellness by Design. And I'm also at Instagram at Sarah Harris WBD. And that's it. So thanks, Melissa. And I hope you guys are feeling a little bit more refreshed.
Yes. And you know what? I'll just link one of your YouTube videos under here too, to make it like even easier for people to find you.
Sure. And actually, I have a really good, I have a good 2 minute, I think it's not 2 minutes, it's 12 minutes, but it's a meditation on the breathing again too. So I'll send you that link and you can embed it if you like.
Okay, that's amazing. Oh, thank you so much. This was so helpful. And even, you know, that little tip that you gave about laying and having the head position in more neutral because of the vagus nerve, you know, I find that it's like the little tips and adjustments that really help to level up the practice right? And then, well, all of us, but concussion desk workers start to have this posture, just crushing that vagus. So I hope people try this, share it with anyone you think needs a little bit of down regulation. And thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Melissa. We'll see you guys next time, hopefully.
Absolutely.